we all know we have like reptilian parts of our brain,
Yeah.
right? Like you have these fight or flight or freeze and survival mode and all these things. So like we have reptilian parts of our brain. We have cold-blooded survival parts of our brain. And so when people talk about, are we reptiles? Are we humanoid? Could the reptiles have created us? I do think that some people have more reptile and less not reptile parts of their mind. And that's like a psychopath or a sociopath. Like I remember I asked my therapist, Peter Tuesdays at Noon, I asked him once because my TikTok
Wait,
hour.
hold on. Wait a minute. Is that an Instagram handle or a TikTok handle?
What?
Peter Tuesdays at Noon?
No, but that's when I talk to him.
Okay.
That's my guy, man. My TikTok algorithm keeps telling me I'm autistic.
Uh-huh.
And so I asked Peter Tuesdays at Noon, I go, am I autistic? And he goes, does it matter? And I go, not really. And then we moved on,
All right.
which I thought was like an interesting way to not answer me. And so like my point is like, we don't know if we are reptilian minded or not. We don't know if we're a sociopath or not. We don't know if we're psychopathic or not. So the idea of us having reptilian minds isn't too far fetched for me.
I kind of think we know if we're a psychopath.
You do?
I think, and a sociopath. I think there will be signs. Mainly people running from you, screaming, "No, don't! I have a family." That type of.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's easy to kind of find that, and then also like family should like pull you to the side, be like, "Hey, we're gonna send you to this place and put a nice jacket on and make you hug yourself."
I feel you, but that's the shapeshifty part of it, man. Like when you shift into, like, have you ever seen Dexter, the show
Yeah,
Dexter?
yeah.
Like when he shifts from being like him masking with his like joyous, like affable, aw shucks attitude
Yeah.
into a cold-blooded killer, like that to me is shapeshifting.
Okay, but hear me out. With that, he knows when he's shifting because there were a couple times when he thought he was gonna get caught. Like when somebody pops up on the scene to. So if you're aware of that, you know. Now you might not know that what's causing you to be a psychopath is the reptilian blood or the reptilian DNA that you have in you, but you're aware, I think, at a certain point when you become a crossover from like, you know, regular civilian, law-abiding civilian
Yeah.
to a psychopath or a sociopath to a certain degree, right?
Yeah.
But I will admit this. I didn't even know until we started, you know, diving into the research of this episode how much reptilian likeness we have inside of us.
Yeah, man.
Like from the brain to the blood to the DNA. That blew my mind. So I hope you guys are strapped in because we're about to take off, Jack.
100%.
Okay? It's about to go down.
So like you're talking about how like the genetics of us, like the Anchon genetics, we have a tail in the womb.
I know. 'Cause I mean, and I feel like that's, you know, because sperm got the love. You know what I mean? So that makes sense.
All my sperm gets scared, loses its tail. As soon as it gets in there, it goes, ah! You know what I mean?
I'm stuck.
Yeah.
what if it's not losing? What the egg is like, that's enough. We only want this much right here. But you make a good point. I actually want to jump in right here because there were a lot of questions with the what is atavism, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have this whole spiel, but I'm gonna break it down to you. Atavism is the rare reappearance in a modern organism of a trait from a distant evolutionary ancestor. And basically what that means is there was this instance of this guy, 59-year-old, right? He getting up there. He was having chest pains, bad circulation all in his chest. So he goes to the hospital to do an x-ray, and they realize that this guy has 3 chambers in his heart instead of 4. Normal humans, most humans have 4 chambers in their heart. This guy has 3. You know what else has 3? Reptiles, man.
What?
Reptiles, man. Yeah, so they gave him some meds, some beta blockers, and a heightened regimen of
Couple
things
flies?
like that. Yeah, a couple flies. You know,
Yeah.
some mealworms like that. Told him get into a warm environment, that type of thing.
Give him a rock to sit on.
and he was fine. But the fact that like this guy exists is, you know, is support. It supports the theory that we could be hybrid reptilian people.
100%.
And
100%.
that's crazy to me. But I mean, like, that I feel like is not enough to get me completely on board. Because you got people that are born with 4 fingers instead of 5, or 4 digits instead of 5.
I dated a girl, I won't say her name, but she had webbed toes. She wore sandals like this.
No, but see, that's the problem. If you got webbed feet, you're not wearing sandals. Okay? If you got an extra amenity or something different, you don't bring attention to it.
Thank you.
That's just you got an extra ear like growing right behind one. You don't get that one pierced.
Mm-mm.
Why would you do? Don't bring no extra attention to. That's crazy. Because now we got to be out in public and somebody going to say, oh, look at this 3-year. Now I got to fight.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I just came here for the lamb chops. Now I gotta put on boxing gloves to defend your honor. You brought that attention to your ear.
I agree. We broke up. Hey.
You gonna miss it when you're on the boat in the sink. You're like, I had that web toe bitch here now. Jenny! Jenny! But going back to what you talked about earlier, the human tails and the skin conditions, because cases of human tails and the scaly skin, it's a proper word for the scaly skin. Ichthyosis is scaly skin. I call it scaly skin. That's what we're going to call it. And they're interpreted as remnants of reptilian traits. Also the tail thing, like you said. But there are people that actually have like a little protruding tail back there.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I just don't see how you sit down comfortably. How do you do road trips?
That's why couches all have separation between the seat and the cushion. That's for tails.
You just lied to my face.
I swear to God, man. I swear to God.
I always think that we're building our friendship, and then you just lied to my face.
I took a tour of IKEA, and I went up to the CEO, and I was like, "What's up with that space?" And he's like, "Oh, it's for our tails."
Allegedly.
And I just know that to be fact. Also, I have terrible skin. I know you were talking about body butter earlier.
Yeah.
Would it work for me? Because my skin is awful. Like,
well, I mean, if you just like have chronic dry skin, it'll work for that. But if you have like psoriasis or something else, then that's something that I can't. Yeah.
No, it's not genetic. It's like I think the earth hates me. It doesn't want me around.
Yeah, that body butter get you good, man. You come on over my house, you're gonna leave wearing a do-rag and smelling like love.
Dang.
Mm-hmm. You goddamn right, man.
They're like, you shapeshifted into a whole different man.
That happens sometimes. That happens.
Like Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
He starts dating that black woman, and all of a sudden he has a do-rag. He's like, "What's up, sis?" Like that kind of stuff.
Yes, I walked out of that movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't think it was funny.
Interesting.
At that time, it just wasn't my thing. My wife loved that movie, but I
Wait,
was like,
what's the funniest movie you've ever seen?
funniest movie I ever seen?
Yeah, what's your funniest movie?
Ooh, man. Coming to America, Harlem Night.
Very funny. Very funny.
Superbad.
Very funny.
I know I'm forgetting one. That just makes me laugh. But those three right there are good starts. I love Superbad. Oh, and the first Hangover.
Yeah.
First Hangover was just
Timeless.
oh my God.
Man, I was gonna come for you, but those are actually
Those pretty good?
Yeah, those are all better than Napoleon Dynamite, certainly.
What about you? Top three.
Ace Ventura 2.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Clue. If you've never seen Clue, that's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Wait, what is Clue?
Clue, it's the board game, but it's not the board game, but it's the board game.
Oh, there's a
It's
movie?
yeah, it's so funny, man. It's so funny. And then after that, gosh, what's something funny and timeless for me?
To hear more?
No, not you, no. Let me think. Let me come back because something will bubble up in the reptilian side of me. And I'll come up with it.
All right, I'm going to hold you to that.
Yeah.
We're going to keep on going. I'm going to let y'all know.
What's your favorite movie? What's your favorite comedy of all time? Drop it in the comments.
They ain't going to tell us. People trying to gatekeep their comedies and stuff like that. Let us know. Don't be playing with us. Put some good ones in there. Only put the ones in there that we didn't say because we want to know some good ones to watch on Saturday
You know
night.
another one? Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar. That movie is hilarious.
You just made that up. That is not a real
swear
title.
to you. Kristen Wiig.
What did you say?
And Mamalo. What's her first name? Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar. It is so silly.
Really?
It is a funny movie. I watched it. I got high. I watched it. I laughed and I ran it back. Watched it again. Ordered chicken wings and a pizza. Watched it again. Watched it 3 times. 1 pizza. 1. And then I looked at my light. That's so true, and I'm so ashamed. Oh my God.
We'll give you my address, man. When you get down like that, you just bring your ass on over here.
Will do.
We're going to sit down, we're going to put the do-rag on you, my wife going to rub your back and just say, it's going to be okay, baby. You're going to feel like a new man when you leave the house. You
I
understand
cannot
me?
wait.
It's
Thank
going to
you.
be a good time, man.
Not a top 5 movie for me, but a top 10 movie. No, that's not fair. 12 movie would probably be Shallow Hal. And Jason Alexander, he actually has a vestigial tail in that movie. Yeah, remember? He shows it and we show a little close up and it goes wiggle, 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 like that. And he kept it and he was ashamed of it, but then he turned into embracing who he was and embracing his...